My wife mocked me and said, "You're like a helpless child, you need everything explained to you." I replied softly, "Good to know." That same evening, I took an empty frame off the wall and placed it on the dining table right in front of her. Why the frame was empty and where the real photo had gone when she found out, she completely lost her voice. I'm 35 and I've been married for 7 years. For the first 4 years, things were solid. We had our arguments like any couple, but we worked through them. We laughed more than we fought. We had dreams we were building toward together. But somewhere around year 5, something shifted in her. She started talking to me differently. Little comments here and there about how I didn't understand things. How I needed her to manage everything. How she had to handle me like a child. At first, I thought maybe I was being too sensitive. Maybe she was stressed. She'd started a new position at her company about 6 months before the comments started, and I figured the pressure was getting to her. So I let things slide. When she snapped at me for forgetting to pick up milk, I apologized. When she made a sarcastic comment about me not knowing how to load the dishwasher properly, I laughed it off. When she rolled her eyes during conversations with friends and said things like, "He doesn't really get it." But that's okay. I swallowed my frustration. But it kept escalating. Every conversation became a chance for her to belittle me. If I asked a question about something, anything, she'd sigh dramatically and say, "Do I really need to explain this to you?" If I made a decision without consulting her, I was being reckless. If I consulted her first, I was being dependent. There was no winning. The breaking point came on a Wednesday evening 3 weeks ago. I'd had a long day and came home to find her already at the dining table with her laptop open, working on something. I asked her what she wanted for dinner, thinking I'd cook or we could order in. She didn't even look up. "I don't know." "Figure it out." "Okay." "I was thinking maybe that tight place you like." She sighed, the kind of sigh that makes you feel 2 inches tall. "You're like a helpless child. Do you need me to make every single decision for you? You need everything explained to you?" I stood there for a moment, just processing. This wasn't stress. This wasn't a bad day. This was contempt. Pure, undisguised contempt. "Good to know," I said softly. She finally looked up, probably expecting me to argue or defend myself like I usually did. But I just nodded and walked into the kitchen. I ordered food without asking her preference. I ate in silence. And while she went back to her laptop, I started thinking about the frame. We had this photo in our living room, hanging on the wall near the entrance. It was from our honeymoon, both of us on a beach at sunset, her laughing at something I'd said, me looking at her like she was the only person in the world. It wasn't an expensive custom frame we'd picked out together, matted and professionally done. Everyone who came to our house commented on it. It was the centerpiece of our living room. The visual proof that we were happy. That evening, after she went upstairs to take a shower, I took the photo out of the frame. Carefully, I put the actual photograph in an envelope and hid it in my desk drawer. Then I put the empty frame back on the wall. Just the frame, the mat, and nothing else. A perfect empty rectangle where our happiness used to be. I waited. I knew she wouldn't notice right away because she barely looked at me anymore, let alone at photos of us. And I was right. 2 days passed. She walked by that frame a dozen times and didn't see it. Friday evening, I was sitting on the couch when she finally stopped in front of it. "What happened to the photo?" I looked up from my phone. "Which photo?" "Our honeymoon photo." "It's gone. The frame is empty." "Oh, that." "Yeah, I removed it." She stared at me like I'd spoken a foreign language. "You removed it? Why?" "Because it didn't feel honest anymore." Her expression shifted from confusion to irritation. "What are you talking about?" "Put it back." "No." "Excuse me." I stood up and walked over to the frame, took it off the wall, and carried it to the dining table. I set it down right in front of where she was standing. "Look at it," I said. "Really look at it. It's an empty frame. This is ridiculous. Where's the photo?" "In a safe place." "But the frame stays like this. Why are you being weird about this?" just put the photo back. Because this frame represents us. And right now, we're empty. There's a structure here, something that looks like it should hold something beautiful. But there's nothing inside anymore. And I think it's more honest to leave it empty than to pretend everything's fine. She laughed, but it was sharp and humorless. This is dramatic, even for you. You're upset about what I said the other day, so you're playing some kind of symbolic game with our wedding photo. Honeymoon photo, I corrected. And I'm not playing anything. I'm showing you what you've done. You talk to me like I'm stupid. Like I'm a burden. Like you're my mother instead of my wife. And I'm done pretending that's normal or okay. I don't talk to you like that. You literally called me a helpless child 2 days ago because I asked what you wanted for dinner. She waved her hand dismissively. That's not what I meant. You're being sensitive. Then explain what you meant. Since apparently I need everything explained to me. She froze. Her mouth opened and closed. She knew exactly what she'd said, and she knew I'd thrown it back at her. Update 1. The argument didn't end that night. It sort of fizzled into cold silence because she didn't have a defense. She tried to turn it around, said I was making something out of nothing, that all couples bicker and I needed to grow thicker skin. I didn't engage. I just left the empty frame on the dining table and went to bed in the guest room. Saturday morning, I woke up to find she'd moved the frame back to the wall. Still empty. I guess she thought if she just put it back, I'd cave and return the photo. I didn't say anything about it. But here's where it got interesting. Her sister came over Saturday afternoon for coffee. They were sitting in the living room, and I was in the kitchen when I heard her sister say, "What happened to your honeymoon photo?" Silence. Then my wife's voice, tight and defensive. "We're updating it. Updating it. It's just an empty frame. It's temporary." Her sister laughed. "That's weird. Did the photo get damaged or something?" "Something like that." I walked into the living room at that moment. Her sister looked at me, then back at my wife, clearly sensing tension. "Actually," I said, "the photo is fine. I removed it because it felt dishonest to display it." My wife's eyes went wide. She was silently begging me not to do this in front of her sister. Her sister looked between us. Dishonest how? Because the couple in that photo actually liked each other. And I'm not sure that's true anymore. The room went completely silent. My wife's face turned red. Her sister suddenly became very interested in her coffee mug. "Can we not do this right now?" My wife said through clenched teeth. "Sure," I said. "We can do it later. Or never. Doesn't really matter to me anymore." I left them there and went for a walk. When I came back an hour later, her sister was gone, and my wife was sitting at the dining table with the empty frame in front of her again. She'd been crying. "We need to talk," she said. "Okay. I didn't realize I was hurting you." I sat down across from her. "Yes, you did. You just didn't care." "That's not fair, isn't it? When's the last time you asked me how I was doing? When's the last time you said something kind to me? When's the last time you treated me like a partner instead of a burden?" She started to answer, then stopped. She couldn't think of anything recent. "I've been stressed," she finally said. "For 2 years. It hasn't been 2 years. It has. I've been tracking. Not obsessively, but I've noticed. 2 years of comments. 2 years of sighs and eye rolls. 2 years of you making me feel stupid for existing. And I'm done." "What does that mean?" "It means I'm not putting the photo back until something changes. Real change. Not an apology you give me to smooth things over, and then go back to treating me the same way next week." She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "What do you want from me?" "I want you to talk to me like you love me. I want you to stop acting like I'm an inconvenience. I want to feel like your husband again, not your incompetent roommate. I do love you. Then show me. Because right now, that empty frame is the most honest thing in this house." Update 2. The next week was tense. She was trying. I'll give her that. She'd catch herself before making a snide comment, ask me about my day, even suggest we watch something together. But it felt performative. Like she was checking boxes on a list titled, How to Save Your Marriage, without actually understanding why the marriage needed saving. The frame stayed empty. It became this thing we both looked at, but didn't mention. I caught her staring at it more than once. This expression on her face like she was trying to solve a puzzle. On Thursday, I came home to find her crying at the dining table. Not just crying, but that deep, chest-heaving kind of crying that happens when someone finally breaks. I talked to my therapist today. She said when she could speak. I told her about the frame. About what you said. About how I've been treating you. I sat down, but didn't say anything. She asked me why I thought it was okay to talk to you that way. And I didn't have an answer. I tried to explain that I was stressed. That work has been overwhelming. That I've been tired. And she just looked at me and said, "So you take it out on the person who loves you most." She wiped her eyes. And I realized that's exactly what I've been doing. You're the safest person for me to unload on. So I've been unloading on you. Every frustration. Every insecurity. Every bad day. I've been dumping it on you. And I've been telling myself it's fine because you'd understand. Because you love me. But that's not love. That's abuse. Hearing her say that word. Abuse. Something in my chest loosened. Not because I wanted her to feel bad. But because she finally saw it. I don't know when I became this person. She continued. I don't know when I started treating you like the enemy instead of my partner. But I did. And I'm so sorry. Sorry isn't enough. I said quietly. I need to know you understand why it's not enough. I do. I know I need to do more than apologize. I know I need to change how I think. How I react. How I talk to you. My therapist is helping me work through it. But I need you to know that I see it now. I see what I did. I see what I've been doing. Do you want to know why I really took the photo down? I asked. She nodded. Because when I look at that picture, I see who we used to be. I see two people who couldn't wait to spend their lives together. And then I look at us now. And I see two people who can barely stand to be in the same room. And it broke my heart to keep pretending the photo still represented us. Do you think we can get back there? She asked, her voice small. I don't know. I want to. But I need to see change. Real change. Not just a week of trying harder because you got called out. She reached across the table and took my hand. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show you that I can be the person you married again. The person who loved you without making you feel small. Final update. It's been 6 weeks since the empty frame conversation. My wife has been in therapy twice a week. She's been reading books about communication and respect in relationships. She's been actively working on catching herself when she falls into old patterns. And I can see the difference. She asks me questions now and actually listens to the answers. She says thank you for small things. Things she used to dismiss or ignore. She apologizes when she snaps. And the apologies feel genuine. She's been vulnerable with me in ways she hasn't been in years. Admitting that she built up resentment about things she never communicated and then punished me for not reading her mind. The frame is still empty. I haven't put the photo back yet. Part of me wonders if I should. If it would be a gesture of forgiveness and hope. But another part of me feels like it's not time yet. The empty frame has become a reminder for both of us. A reminder of what we almost lost. A reminder that love isn't just a feeling. It's a choice and an action. A reminder that you can't treat people like garbage and expect them to stay. Her sister came over again last week and noticed the frame was still empty. She didn't ask about it this time. But I saw her glance at it. And then at us. We were cooking dinner together. Laughing about something stupid. And I think she understood. The frame isn't empty because we're broken. It's empty because we're rebuilding. And you don't put the decoration back up until the foundation is solid. My wife has asked me a few times if I'll ever put the photo back. I tell her the same thing every time. When I know for sure that we're those people again, the photo goes back. Not before. She stopped pushing. She understands that this is something I need. Something we need. I'm not going to pretend everything is perfect now. We still have hard days. She still sometimes catches herself about to say something cutting and has to stop. I'm still cautious. Still waiting to see if this change is permanent or if it's temporary motivation that will fade once she thinks we're safe again. But I'm hopeful in a way I wasn't 2 months ago. The frame sits on the wall. Empty and honest. And every time we walk past it, we both know what it means. It's not a punishment. It's not a weapon. It's a truth. We're not who we were in that photo yet. But maybe, if we keep working, if she keeps growing and I keep giving her the chance to, maybe we'll get there again. And when we do, that photo is going right back where it belongs. Edit. Some people are asking if I'm worried that keeping the frame empty is cruel or manipulative. I don't think it is. I think it's honest. She spent 2 years making me feel worthless with her words. The frame is just a mirror showing her what that looked like. If she finds that painful, maybe that's what needed to happen for her to truly understand the damage. Edit 2. For everyone asking what I'll do if she backslides, I already know. I have a copy of the photo. The original stays with me. If things don't improve, if this is just temporary performance, the frame stays empty, and I leave. I'm not spending the rest of my life being someone's emotional punching bag, no matter how many apologies I get.